This is SCP-867. It's a tree, but it's not just any tree. This is the deadliest tree to ever exist. And today, we're gonna find out why.
The man and woman's hike through a gently rolling portion of the Rocky Mountains has just taken a turn for the dangerous. There's something there in the bush, the man tells her before stepping in front of her in a defensive pose.
Yeah, defend your woman.
Intently. There's a slight rustling.
What is it? Ew, dude, it looks like a tree butthole.
The man picks up a stick from the ground and holds it in front of him, ready to strike whatever fearsome beast is lurking in the
Okay, let's be real. If that's like a grizzly bear, my guy is about to get ripped apart into like a billion different pieces, and she's looking at him like she knows it. If she's smart, she should probably start running immediately.
Brush. The rustling stops, but the man doesn't move from his protective stance.
He is sweating bullets right now.
Gone? The woman asks.
I don't think
the man
so.
Isn't sure. He leans in towards the bush, searching for signs of what might be hiding inside when...
Oh!
The man screams
What
and
is
falls
it?
backwards as the creature emerges from the bush.
What?
The woman cries. It's a pika. She kneels down to get a closer look at the adorable little creature.
It was just
Pikas
a little
are native
rodent.
to this part of Colorado,
Oh my
and they resemble
gosh.
rabbits, but with small, rounded ears.
He looks so
She watches it
stupid
hop
now.
back off the trail before turning around to see
Wait.
her friend lying tangled in the branches of a tree.
Guys, check that out. Okay, that is no ordinary tree. That has to be SCP-867, which has the nickname the Blood Spruce. I have no idea what this thing does, but based on its name, it can't be anything good.
Tree. She can't help but laugh as she offers a hand to help pull him out of his predicament. Are you all right? She asks between fits of laughter. Yes, he's fine. The only thing hurt was his pride. He notices a small red spot on his arm and rubs it, but it doesn't seem to hurt at all.
I think he got
his attention
infected.
is diverted by the woman, though, who is marveling at the tree he was just stuck in. Free of the branches, he can appreciate now that the tree really is incredible.
Whoa.
It looks like a huge blue spruce, but the name is a complete misnomer.
Wow.
Because this tree is a vibrant red color. I've never seen anything like it, she says, and the man hasn't either. Neither knows what species it is, and strangely, there don't seem to be any others like it.
It's so much
Maybe
bigger
this is
than the
result
other
of an
trees.
odd genetic defect that turns blue spruces red.
Huh.
After admiring the tree for a moment, the pair decides that they've hiked far enough and that they should probably head back to the car. She jokes that he's likely exhausted from his run-in with a wild animal. He laughs, but clearly his ego
Oh,
has been
that's so
bruised.
funny. He's gonna die soon. He's definitely. See, guys, look, there's a skull and
The man
bones.
stops his car in
This
front of
guy's
the
going
woman's
to
house,
die.
and she thanks him for taking her on the hike. As she starts to get out, though, he stops her. He asks if she wants to go do something else, like dinner?
Wait, guys, okay, so I like to make predictions during these SCP videos, and I have a prediction. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but we know that that was definitely the Blood Spruce SCP, and we know that he fell into the tree, he has a little bump on his arm, so he's definitely 100% infected. Now, I'm curious, because we saw like bones and we saw stuff like a skull around the other blood spruce, I'm wondering if maybe that's how this thing multiplies. Maybe it infects people or animals, and then it like basically starts spawning a tree out of the infected area. That's what I think right now, based on the information that we have, but make sure you guys comment down below what you think, and don't cheat. I know some of you guys might fast forward and then comment down below what actually happens. Don't do that. Just make some guesses down below right now in the comments. Do it.
The woman thanks him for his offer, but she has to be up early the next day for work. Just a quick drink then? An hour? 30 minutes? The woman tries her best to let her friend down easy, explaining that she likes him as a friend and as only that.
Ooh.
The man opens his mouth to respond,
Rejected.
but she stops him.
He doesn't have that
valued
Ohio
their
skibbity
friendship
riz.
and wouldn't try to take advantage of it by using it as a backdoor to dating her. The man again looks like his pride has been shattered.
Wow.
He apologizes and admits that she is right.
Not only did this
It's
guy
just
get
that he has
scared
such
by
a
a
good time with her
squirrel,
that he
he
never
got
wants it to
infected
end.
by an
She gives
SCP,
him a sad
and he
smile as she
also
closes the
got
car door,
rejected by
and he
the love of
watches
his
her enter
life.
her house before he finally
This guy took
drives away.
3 major L's
It's
today.
2 weeks later when the man's phone rings.
Oh,
It's
2
his
weeks
friend.
later.
She explains that she's
Oh,
been thinking a lot
no.
about what he said in the car, and that she likes spending time with him too.
No!
Maybe there could be something
I
more to
mean,
their
that's great
relationship.
for him, but
The man can't believe
we
it.
both know
Is
that
really
this guy
happening?
is not
The woman
going
is
to make it.
serious. She'd like to take him up on that dinner offer, if he's still interested. Her treat.
Oh,
She wants to know what
gosh.
he's doing right. Ah!
Oh, there it is, boys.
Is he okay? What was that sound?
No.
Yes, I'm fine. It was nothing, the man tells her. It's just that now's not a good time. The woman doesn't understand. She thought he'd want to see her. She explains that she's leaving town for a work trip the next day and will be gone for a couple of weeks. She was hoping she could see him before she left, but the man cries out.
Oh, dude, he is infected right now.
He hasn't been feeling well all day.
No.
But he'll be all right. Okay, well,
he's not going to be okay, guys.
I'll call you when I get back. They exchange goodbyes.
Oh, wait, look at his skin. He's green?
Looks terrible.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yes, he does.
Hollow and gaunt.
No.
He looks down at his arm.
Ew.
He sees that the veins themselves appear to be moving, pulsing and vibrating.
That's gross.
Again in agony and falls
that is
to the
disgusting.
floor, After writhing on the floor, he manages to summon the strength to reach for the phone. His hand searches on the table above him.
It looks like he's wearing a glove, but it's actually just his own hand.
And starts to dial 911 before he can press 1 again.
Do it.
Another wave of intense searing pain consumes him. Several weeks later, the woman is standing outside the man's house. Mail and newspapers are piled up on his front porch, as if no one has been in or out in some time.
So I guess this guy must not have like any family or friends. He's kind of a loner because nobody has checked up on him in multiple weeks, other than this girl.
She knocks on the door, but there's no response. Hello? She calls out, but still nothing.
He turned into a tree, lady.
She tried calling him several times, but he never answered or returned her messages. She tries the doorknob, and to her surprise, the front door swings open.
Okay, that's kind of sus.
She steps inside, and the room is dark. She's also immediately hit by a strong aroma of
death.
Oh! She searches on the wall.
Maybe I was right.
Switch. She turns on the lights and can't believe what she sees standing in front of her.
I was right.
Is a massive spruce tree.
What?
Its upper branches pressing against the
That
ceiling.
is insane.
She reaches out and touches the tree's vivid red branches. They feel sticky and wet. She pulls her hand away and looks down to see that it's covered in a red substance. That's when she notices something else.
The dead body. Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Of her friend.
So guys, I was right. I mean, this is a horrible time to pause, but I was right. So this thing infects the person, and then it turns their body into like fertilizer for a tree to spawn. Now guys, I'm pretty sure there's a type of mushroom that does this as well. It's very weird, but I remember watching a video after I played the Last of Us game, which is about like this mushroom virus that can like take over different organisms. And there actually is a mushroom out there called cordyceps that does something similar to this. But luckily it can only take over like small insects like ants, but it can actually like take over their brain and then it starts spawning in the mushroom from their body. It is super weird, but it's like a real life SCP.
Unfortunately, this pair would never have the opportunity to see their feelings take root and grow, because unbeknownst to them,
Bob just cooked with that one.
is actually a very deadly anomaly, known to the SCP Foundation as SCP-867, but which is perhaps better known by its very appropriate nickname,
the Blood Spruce.
SCP-867 is, or at least appears to be, quite similar to the species of tree Pisceae pungens.
I've never seen that tree before. That is such a cool looking tree.
There are a number of dramatic differences between 867 and its non-anomalous counterpart.
I mean, yeah, we can see, first off, the blood spruce is like double the size, and secondly, it's a different color.
Visually, and most obvious, is the coloration. While blue spruces, as the name implies, are typically a blue-green color, SCP-867 is a deep, vibrant red. There's another major visual difference too, with the blood spruce lacking any sort of seed cones that you would normally expect.
Oh, interesting.
With no pine cones to protect and spread seeds. You'd be right to ask how SCP-867 goes about reproducing.
We already know.
The answer to that question is what makes this beautiful tree such a dangerous anomaly. The secret to how SCP-867 reproduces is found in its leaves. While they look like pine needles, SCP-867's leaves are, in fact, needles. Their structure is very similar to that of hypodermic needles, and each one contains a single long, thin seed, which sits above a small gas pocket at the base.
Are you serious?
When a living creature touches the leaves, the tree immediately reacts. It triggers the gas pocket in the base of the leaf to release, which injects the seed into the skin of whatever touched it. The process is quite similar to that found in auto-injectors.
Guys, this is insane. So just like a lot of SCP videos that we've watched in the past, there's like, I don't know, just like some part of it feels like it could be real. Like obviously we know about porcupines and they have like really sharp, basically needles as their defense mechanism. And we also know that pine trees and like other trees in existence, like thorns, they just like, they can pretty much like prick you and then cause you to bleed. Now, luckily, nothing that we know of actually exists today that like shoots a seed inside of you, which would be super weird. But I don't know. There's something about these SCPs where they're like almost real enough. It just feels like it could be real. Like if somebody, like let's say, Albert Einstein sat me down and he was like, yeah, there's a tree that can shoot you with the seed and then, you know, a tree will grow out of your body. I would believe it. I would be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Darwin definitely studied that one, you know, 400 years ago. That just sounds like evolution to me. But luckily, it's just an SCP, so we're safe for now, I think.
Those used to quickly treat allergic reactions. The seed itself is extremely small and is coated in a liquid that has both anesthetic and coagulant properties.
So you can't feel
which makes
it.
The process virtually undetectable. Once implanted in the skin, these seeds can lay dormant for up to 2 weeks before they begin the germination process, and the true horror of SCP-867 is revealed. Once the seeds begin to sprout and grow, they will not seek to penetrate through the skin like a plant rising out of the soil. Instead, the strange plant will grow within its host's body, spreading throughout the circulatory system. This process is extremely painful for the host.
Bet.
The plant's tendrils wind through their veins and capillary system, stretching and pressing against them.
It literally takes over the person's entire organ system.
The size of the plant's tendrils becomes too much, and the veins will begin to rupture. This leads to severe internal bleeding, and soon after, the death of the host.
Okay.
The entire process is quite quick, with it only taking 24 hours from when the seeds first sprout to the host dying. But that single day will feel like an eternity to the afflicted individual as they feel the plant rapidly growing inside of their body.
Okay, so it did only take 1 day.
Expired, this parasitoid tree is far from finished with them, or at least their body. Soon after death, a new instance of the blood spruce will burst from the body. The red tree is quite small at first, but it will continue to quickly grow, just as it did within its host's body, and can reach maturity in just 30 days.
What?
And unlike most other plants, SCP-867 is able to grow regardless of light or soil conditions.
How?
Because it does not produce food via photosynthesis. No, this plant is carnivorous. As it grows, the 867 will slowly consume its host's body until nothing remains except the blood red tree.
So how does it eat after it runs out of the person?
Were first identified in Colorado during the 1990s, following reports of numerous disappearances of hikers and park rangers. The SCP Foundation dispatched a team to the area to investigate, and they soon discovered numerous instances of the previously unidentified tree.
So that basically means that 3 people were out there and then they all like basically died, and then the trees sprouted out of nowhere.
Several still young specimens were acquired, though unfortunately, this led to the deaths of several agents.
How?
We're not yet aware of just how dangerous the red spruces could be.
How did you not
Once
know?
their threat level was properly assessed, several specimens were flagged for containment and research purposes, while all of the other identified instances still in the wild
that's what you should do to this SCP. Burn it with a flamethrower.
SCP-867 were classified as Euclid and are now securely kept at a Foundation biocontainment site. Direct human contact with the plants is normally not allowed, and remote rovers are used for the majority of tests and upkeep.
That's a big brain play right there.
It is necessary for a human to enter 867's containment cell. They are to wear full hazmat suits with a Kevlar underlayer, and upon exiting the cell, must undergo a full herbicidal treatment and inspection. Should any possible puncture marks be discovered, they will be forced to quarantine for no less than 15 days. Ah, nature. It's so beautiful.
Wait a second, why would they quarantine for 15 days when they just said earlier in the video that it only takes 24 hours for this thing to kill the person? That was kind of weird.
Full and calming, yet seems determined to try and kill us in any number of ways. If you're out hiking or camping in the woods, try to remember this extremely famous adage which I may or may not have just made up. It goes, leaves of 3, let them be. Needles of red, well, you're probably already dead.
Dr. Bob,
now go and watch another entry from